Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Redzadi Sazik. You can call me Red. So today I will be the first one to be presenting. Alright, so during the last class lecture, our lecturer has assigned us to conduct an assignments. In this assignment, we will be present and analyze the data collected from UiTM Jenker students using statistical methods. Alright, so let's go to it one by one. Alright, so for the next part, we will be introducing to the title of our study. Alright, so the title of our study case is Relationship between the frequency of students playing games and academic performance among UiTM Jenker students. So as you know, playing game is a very common thing for all of the students these days. So some of the students may play games to relax, to release stress, but playing too much of them may affect their study and also their academic performance. So this study is conducted to see whether there is a relationship between how often students playing games and the academic performance. So let's go to it one by one. Alright, so for the next part, we will be showing the data of our case study, that is the frequency of students playing games. Alright, this pie chart shows how often students play games in a week based on 61 response that we collected. Alright, based on the pie chart, we can see that the highest percentage is 36.1%. That shows students play games 1 to 2 times per week. Alright, so for the next one is 29.5% shows that students play games 3 to 4 times per week. And the last one is the 21.3% of students play games every day. Alright, and also we can see that only a small number of students rarely play games or do not play games at all. All of this data shows that most of students play games regularly. Alright, so based on this, for my comment on this pie chart, we can see that the students does not play games too much, but they are balanced in their life. So I think it is quite good for their study. Alright. Okay, so for the next part also, we will show you guys the collected data for academic performance for all of the students. Alright. As you can see, based on this pie chart, we can see that 41% of the students rated their academic performance as good, which is the highest. So I think some of the students does not affected by playing games. I think they can manage their time wisely. So we can also see that 34.4% selected their academic performance as average. So I think some of them might be able to play games at the same time, but it doesn't affect their study too much. But some of them also may affect their study. And last but not least, 64.4% rated their academic performance as excellent. So I think this small percentage made the student with the top tier. The main reason is because by playing games, it does not affect their study also. So some of students by playing games, some of students also will, when we play games, we will be able to relax. So when we relax, we're able to do lots of things. So I think by playing games, it does not give pressure to them. Alright, so overall, most of the students have good or average academic performance based on this pie chart. So as a conclusion, many students play games but still perform well academically. This suggests that gaming does not negatively affect academic performance if it done in moderation. After the introduction, I will explain the two main objectives for our study. So for number one, our first objective is to determine the frequency of playing games amongst the respondents. So based on this objective, we want to understand how often the students spend their time gaming, whether it's rarely, sometimes, or regularly. So this data will be showing how many times, so like 1 times now or 3 times. So another objective is to examine whether this gaming frequency has any connection with their academic performance or not. So with this study, we are able to help us to see if playing games more often affects your result in a positive or negative way. So let's see one by one. So through this objective, we hope to get a clearer picture of how gaming's habits might influence students' academic achievements. So alright, thank you. That's all from me.
So hello everyone, my name is Omai. So today I will explain the third objective of our STA presentation. So the third objective is to determine how variations in gaming frequency among UiTM Jenker students may contribute to differences in their academic performance. So, objective 3 focus on understanding how different gaming frequencies among UiTM Jengke students may influence their academic performance. In other words, we aim to examine whether students who play games frequently, moderately, or rarely show any noticeable differences in their grades. This helps us identify if gaming habits are linked to academic outcomes, either positively, negatively, or not at all. And I will explain the last objective, which sounds to identify the academic performance levels of AS120 students in UiTM Jengke based on their varying frequencies of playing games. So for objective 4, we aim to identify the academic performance levels of AS120 students based on how often they play games. We will categorize students according to their gaming frequency and compare their academic results. From this, we can determine which group performs better academically and whether gaming habits play a role in that performance.
So my name is Muhammad Faris Natudin Rahmat. I will explain the summary of our data that we collect response from 50 students that we're focusing on two main variables, which is the number of games played per week and their CGPAs. So this descriptive statistic help us to understand the overall trend in dataset. So in our data that we have collected, which is 10 respondents, they choose to play 7 times per week, and 3 respondents will play 6 times per week. 12 respondents will play 4 times per week. 3 respondents play 3 times per week, and the highest, which is 16 respondents, played 2 times per week, and 3 respondents that never play a single game. So the descriptive, the statistic that we collect, which is the mean average the game per week, which is 3.8 times, and the median is 4 times, and mode 2 times, and the minimum of play which is 0 times, and the maximum which is 7 times. So that we collect the standard deviation, which is 2.16, the skewness, which is 0.27, which is the slightly right skew. So kurtosis, which is negative 1.03, that flatter distribution. So on the average respondent, they play around 3 to 4 times per week. The distribution is slightly right skew, that meaning a small number of students play more games than the rest, but not extremely high. So the range is 7, that showing the large variation, that some students don't play at all while other playing daily. So to linking to the academic performance, we relationship use this as used to firstly that moderate the gaming in the norm, which is most respondent play a moderate amount of games, that they play around 4 times a week, which is they suggest that gaming is a common activity but not excessive. So secondly, we have low skewness, which is indicate no extreme gamer, which is since the skewness is only 0.269, they are no heavy outlier who game excessively. This suggests that gaming may not significantly disturb the overall study routine the most of students. So the next is possible impact on academic performance, which is students who play 0 to 2 games per week, that represent the low gaming group, which is this group is usually associated with higher focus time. Then this student who play 4 games, which is 4 times a week, that present the median, which is the majority and may balance gaming with study. And then student who play 7 times per week, they may face slight risk of distraction, but since they are few, they are overall correlation with academic performance may be weak or moderate only. So expect trend which is based on the data, gaming behavior among respondents is relatively moderate, and because there are no extremely outlier, their effect on academic performance is slightly small. Students generally manage their gaming time well while maintaining their studies. So in conclusion, respondent play an average of 3.8 games per week, which reflect moderate gaming habits. The distribution show no extreme gamers, suggesting that gaming is not heavily disrupting their academic routines. Therefore, the relationship between the gaming and academic performance in this group is expected to be minimal, with most students capable of balancing both activities.
Next, I will explain the summary of CGPA data from our 15 respondents. Based on the analysis, the average CGPA is 3.30. This is show that overall the student in our sample perform at fairly good academic level. The median CGPA is 3.44, meaning the half of the student score above 3.44 while the other half score below it. Meanwhile, the mode is 3.64, which indicate that this is the most frequently occurring CGPA among the respondents. From this value, we can see that most students fall within the CGPA range of about 3.2 to 3.6. This suggests that majority of the respondents have consistent and stable academic performance, even though they have different level of academic gaming frequency.
So now let's talk about the histogram, and let's start with the games per week. So the histogram shows the distribution of how many times students play game per week. So the most students play games between 2 until 4 times per week, which forms the highest bars in the histogram. Only a small number of students play games very rarely, such as 0 times per week, and a few students play games very frequently, around 6 to 7 times per week. Overall, the distribution shows that moderate gaming is more common among students compared to very low or very high gaming frequency. And let's move to the second histogram, which is CGPA. The histogram shows the distribution of students' CGPA. The majority of students have CGPA between 3.2 and 3.8, indicating generally good academic performance. There are fewer students with a very low CGPA, which is below 2.5, while some students achieve very high CGPA, close to 4.0. This suggests that most students perform well academically with only a small variation in CGPA. So by comparing both histograms, we can see that although many students play games over times per week, their CGPA remains relatively high. This suggests that moderate gaming does not strongly affect academic performance, as most students are still able to maintain good CGPA. So, in conclusion, the histogram helps us understand the overall pattern of gaming habits and academic performance among students. Most students show balanced gaming behavior and good academic results.